Hello Australia, Mitch Zawai, I'm in charge and the circus has come to town. And boy, have we got a star-studded panel for you tonight. And on tonight's show, we'll be discussing whether or not we should bring up our children as winners their whole lives. And is it all right to track your partner on their mobile phone if you believe they're cheating on you? And plastic bags, is it a public convenience or public environmental menace? We'll be discussing that and so much more with our star-studded panel coming up very shortly.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's it got some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Hello Australia and welcome to another episode of Sweet and Sour. And let's meet our panellists tonight. Clinton, welcome back.
Mate, glad to be back with you in the seat again.
Oh, it's very exciting. How's the emceeing stuff going?
Mate, pretty quiet winter. Everyone goes into hibernation mode, but there's a few gigs coming
nobody
up.
comes out. Nobody comes out.
Nobody does anything in
I believe
winter.
Kevin Spacey came out, but let's...
The total was
yes,
today,
yes. And Foni, how about yourself?
Fantastic. Life's busy, life's good. It's all fantastic.
Oh, wonderful. Now you teach art?
Sorry?
Technical assistant for art?
Yes.
Wonderful, fantastic. We were going to look at your artfulness in answering these questions
I'm ready.
and explain to our viewers. And
Okay.
talking about art, our resident artist, Alex, how are you going?
Hello, how are you? Good.
Very well. Everything's going well?
Yes, yep. I'm just finishing up at uni, so final exams on Thursday, and I've found a house that I want to buy. And
Oh,
everything's
very
looking
exciting.
really good.
Whereabouts?
In Glen Forest.
Oh, up in the hills.
Yes, I'm
oh,
gonna
up
be
in the
I'm gonna be,
trees.
what do you call them? A hippie.
A home away
farmer.
in the gum trees. Yes, and our favourite comedian, Steve, how are you going?
Good, thanks, John.
You're back from touring?
Yes, no, not quite. Touring up in the northwest, doing a bit of electrical and a bit of comedy, stand-up back in Perfect Shapiro's.
Wonderful.
Every now and again.
Well, we won't put any pressure on you tonight, so
No,
but we're relying on you. But feel no pressure. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Our first letter. Where's mine? Dear panellists, the other day I was attending an award ceremony for my son's basketball team. I was so incredibly proud to hear his name get called up to collect his trophy. That was until I realised that the rest of the team was soon to be called up too to collect their trophies. And he was just the first on the list due to the alphabetical ordering of the last names. What is it with this idea that everyone must get a trophy so that nobody feels left out? Back when I was playing sports in school, a trophy was something to strive for and something that showed that you stood out and achieved something. If everyone gets a trophy regardless of effort or achievement, are we teaching our children that losing is so terrible we can never let it happen? Studies show that kids function best in an environment that not only encourages and rewards success, but also acknowledges the failure that happens to everyone. If we let our children think that they never fail, what happens when they reach the real world and fail? Maybe this is why the younger generation feels so entitled, because they never have to work hard to get rewards. Murray, Bondi, New South Wales. Alex, what do you think? Are we pandering children too much these days?
No, look, Mari, I think what's the point from this one is if the whole team are getting a trophy, that's because it's a team effort. And back in my day, we used to get a group thing. It just depends on what the category is, but then there's one person that gets fairest and best. And that person is the one that excels the most out of the whole team. So I don't agree with you saying all the things about that they're going to grow up and not be able to handle rejection. But today's society, yes, we do have a lot of, especially today's youth culture with the internet and all the everything that they do, that everything's online, so they don't have the worldly knowledge like we may have had when we were growing up. But I reckon that's a really good idea that they give them a trophy. I think that's great. Encourages them.
Steve, you reckon good idea? Everybody gets a prize?
Yeah, well, I'd sort of say like the Brownlow medal, only one person, sometimes two people get that. So I think it's good to actually have it because it encourages people to put more effort, and it's also a good thing to award a whole team, but you definitely have to have that one award to strive to.
Yes.
Fairest and best.
Yes. How about yourself, Clinton? You need something to strive to? Should everybody get an award and nobody be singled out?
Definitely not. Single out one person, I say. Show them who's the best. Like, we didn't have that when we were at school. Like, you know, there was going to be first, second and third. It's actually as simple as that. I think as well, though, that's why it's quite refreshing to see Mari be a parent that I think going against the trend. I think the parents are to blame a little bit here too. I think they're making their kids think that they should all get something or want something. Like recently Woolworths had that Marvel, the stickers or the Pogs or whatever they were. And people were on the internet going mad at Woolies because the one their child wanted wasn't in stock or they couldn't get the one they want. Too bad.
Oh yeah, but you know, I
Too
saw
bad.
that. I saw a girl put on the internet. Anyone got the blah blah blah?
I mean, that's fair enough, but to abuse someone because
yeah.
their child not getting what they wanted, it's just precious problems for precious people. Simple as that.
How about
Yeah.
yourself, Foni? What do you reckon?
I'm with Clinton on this one. I call participation awards BS awards. Because I just don't believe in them. The same, it was fairest and best, it was runner-up, you strive for that. If you don't like it,
next time,
that's
mate.
it, do better next time, something to strive for in the next season. You're a part of the team, you're playing an integral part, but you know what? We're not teaching these children the strategies and the skills that are needed to make them resilient for the future. It is a sense of entitlement, I believe. Let's not hurt their feelings. Toughen up, Princess.
Yeah, no, it's certainly you know, the way it was when I was playing sport. Everybody got a trophy if you were in the team, but then you got the best and fairest for the season.
And
yeah,
usually it's just a little trophy,
and-
isn't it?
and-
But the person that was the fairest and best got a big one.
I think
Exactly,
it depended on the club, though.
and then there was also, you know, for those kids that couldn't do so well, they did have the most improved. So, you know, we did single out the people that weren't so great, but we've asked our viewers at home what they think of this topic, and the question was, should all children competing receive participation certificates even if they come last? Well, you responded to 46% of you at home said yes, and 54% said no. So is that
Parents.
parents? Parents are voting at home?
Yeah.
Yes?
I thought that would have been very different.
Mums and dads.
I thought that would have been a very different result.
Absolutely.
So that shows that
Model of coddling the children.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know, because I also heard outrageously now that at some sporting events now for the juniors, they can't sing the club song. Because that singles out, obviously, a winner in the match, and the other team may feel disappointed.
There's
So,
not time to get into that.
I roll. You know, I can't.
My eyes just fell to the back of
They
my head.
did.
What would happen to the football after whoever wins in the AFL? No team song. Like,
That's just wrong.
there goes
Crazy.
Tiger Town, there goes Collingwood.
well, that's
See,
absolutely. That's you know, but although when I can't remember which team it was. I think when the Giants won over here recently with the West Coast, they didn't actually have the Giants song at Subiaco.
It's a
So
crap song, though.
well, they weren't expecting it. They weren't expecting it. So.
Years ago, I went to a Subiaco game. This was years ago, and they had the best ever war cry. It was so, whoever wrote it was really intelligent. It was Ooby Dooby, come on Subi.
Oh, for the Subiaco.
Wow. Riders ever sleep.
Okay.
Ever sleep.
Well, obviously the panel here disagrees with you at home, but don't worry, we'll be back with so much more coming up after these very generous words from our sponsors. Now, moving on to...
Come on Subi. I thought, well, that's pretty, I don't know, creative.
Getting in touch with Sweet and Sour is easy. Just head to sweetandsour.net.au to send us a letter. And while you're there, why not check out our past episodes? Plus, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And for a behind-the-scenes look at Sweet and Sour, check us out on Instagram.
Welcome back, Australia, and well, if we read your letter out, we're going to send you to the movies. And this week's movie is Hounds of Love, thanks to our friend Natalie at NRC Communication. Moving on with the second letter. Hi, Sweet and Sour. We have been married for 2 years. It was sunshine and roses in the beginning, but lately he calls to tell me he is going to be late home from work, or that he's stopping over at a mate's place before heading home. So I hope you understand why I have secretly installed an app that allows me to track his phone. It's working quite well, but I'm not sure if it's the right thing. I have always been faithful to my husband and I haven't had any real reason to suspect that he's been anything other than loyal to me. And the tracking confirms this view. Yet I still need a little help from the panellists. Do you think I have gone too far as to download an app to see where he goes? Am I inviting his privacy? Or as a spouse, do I have the right to track him? Do others do this as well? Does the panel think this is where all relationships will trend? Lauren, Richmond, Victoria, Clinton, first to you.
Oh, Lauren. You've asked, do I need or can I get some help from the panellists? You get nothing from me, love. You're a moron. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. For a start, it was all sunshine and roses in the beginning. They've only been married for 2 years. I would have thought it was still sunshine and roses, just quietly. This is the most blatant sense of entitlement that this bird has. It's ridiculous. Just because you're married to him, you don't own him. You don't own him. You either need to tell him or you need to take it off that phone quick smart. I want you to tell him, and then I've got some advice for your husband if you're listening, mate. Start playing games on this stupid woman. Drive to someone else's house. Constantly. Drive to the pub, drive to a brothel. Teach her a lesson. Lauren, get nicked.
Foni, what do you think? Suspicious minds need to be kowtowed to?
Look, why would you put that app on your phone in the first place? There's a level of mistrust we have to actually look at, and you haven't explained it here. What's the provenance of your mistrust? Why are you not trusting your husband of 2 years? Is there a reason? Have you been cheated on in the past? Is there a history of infidelity? I would want to be told if I was being tracked. I actually called my husband on the way here tonight and I said, just a question, have you ever tracked me? And he stopped and I said, this isn't a trick question, but just tell me. He goes, no. And I said, why? He said, because I don't need to.
Exactly.
And in there lies the question for you. You have to tell him, you have to have a non-confrontational conversation about this. You have to be honest. If you're not honest, your relationship won't grow.
I want to know how old Lauren is as well. I'd be interested in that.
12?
Alex, what about yourself? You ever think suspicious minds?
Yes.
So what should be done with a suspicious mind?
Actually, I worked for a, I'll give you an example of once, nothing to do with me, but I worked for a guy who I used to date years ago, and then when I was working for him here, he would say he was going to, he rang me up once and said, oh, I'm stuck in traffic at the airport, there's been a major crash, and I thought, oh, okay. So, of course, you go to find my iPhone, and because I had access to all the emails and I know his passwords, I went, find my iPhone, and then there he was at the pub just around the corner, and I thought, well, you know, he didn't want his wife to know that he was having a drink, and so if there's any suspicions like that, yeah, I would do it, because if there's any inkling of doubt that you have with your husband, that means there's something there that's not right. Because if you trust your partner, even if they're visiting a friend, it's a girl, that shouldn't matter because you've got trust.
Yes.
You know? So, yeah, you're silly. Take it off. And I wouldn't tell him, just take it off, learn your lesson, and just live your life happy.
So, Steve, you've just come back from the outback. Was that really the outback you were at?
Kind of. But this is a bit of definite stalking from a married woman.
Yeah,
and
it is.
you know, if you're doing the phone, maybe you can look and try and find undie trackers if you're really concerned that he might be having an affair, and you'll be able to see whether his pants are going up or down. But it's really stalking to me.
Or just check his undies, Steve.
Yes.
That might give it away.
Well, again, we've asked you at home, what's your say on this issue? Is the need to know where your partner is every moment of the day an indication of a lack of trust in a relationship? Well, the results are 79% of you at home said yes, and 21% of you at home said no. Well, Lauren, I want to personally say to you that I believe mistrust creates mistrust. I actually think you've got a suspicious mind because maybe you're out there doing something a little bit dodgy, and you think, if I've done it, I know the traits, to look for, and suddenly you think, oh, maybe my husband's doing it as well. So I'm putting it right back on you that maybe you don't trust him because maybe you haven't been trustworthy yourself. So everybody, I think, would agree with our viewers at home.
Good point. Good, strong point.
Usually, if you can't trust yourself, you think your partner's going to be the same. So it's her issue. It's her issue.
2 years in.
2 years.
Oh, They're standing now.
Sweetheart,
Yeah.
settle down. What were those figures again for that?
Well, the
79%
79% said yes, that it's a lack of trust if you're stalking your partner, basically, and 21% said no. So 21% said it's absolutely
21%
all right
of
to know.
morons
You
out
should
there,
know
yeah.
every step of the day, of the
Stalkers.
hours where
Yeah.
your partner
21%
is.
are stalkers.
Your relationship's just going to go nowhere.
Their
Nowhere.
age, I wonder how old she is.
I would love to know. I've got a feeling she's
Probably
12?
very young 20s.
Sounds
The
like it.
mentality of a 12-year-old.
Very young 20s, I
But
reckon.
I mean, I do know some women older that are very jealous and
Yes.
insecure.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, well, having said that, we're going somewhere. We're going to a commercial break and we'll be right back with segment number 3 right after these kind words from our sponsors. Catch you soon.
I'll give you my opinion, but you better want to hear the truth. So tune into Sweet and Sour because it's sometimes a little bit sweet, but sometimes it's a little bit sour. You never know what's coming.
It's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Hello and welcome back. Straight into the last letter we go. Hello, panellists. We only have one planet and we are destroying it. We live in such a beautiful country and my favourite part of the day used to be my lunchtime walk around the park near my office. Lately, these walks have just made me angrier and angrier. Every day, more and more plastic bags litter the lake and surrounding bushland. The whole reason we have plastic bags is for efficiency, but the store-bought bags can carry 3 to 4 times as many groceries as normal plastic bags. Why don't people want change? Why don't people want to change their nasty habits and start bringing their own reusable bags shopping with them? I agree with Wally Eads' calls for the government to ban the plastic bag. If people won't change their habits, then the option needs to be taken away from them entirely. I told a friend of my views and she argued with me that it was just too hard to remember to bring bags shopping and just one more thing to do. Is this just the general opinion of a lazy Australian shopper? Doesn't the cost of the damage to the environment and the harm of the animals outweigh the efficiency of the plastic bags? Lynn, Wellington, WA, and we're going straight to Foni.
Lynn, I am a lazy Australian shopper. I take the plastic bags, but I recycle the plastic bags, and I never, ever litter. So I think maybe what's happened is that whole litter bug campaign that we had when I was growing up, Captain Cleanup, needs to be brought back.
Mine was Drop Something Sport.
That one.
Yes.
I think I spanned a few.
Actually,
ads.
just very quickly before we move on to Clinton, do you remember the pig ad?
Yeah,
you know when
that's
someone
it.
don't let a pig?
Drop-
Yes.
See where you can turn into a pig.
Oh, where are those
Yes,
ads?
exactly.
You know, the slip, slop, slap, all of those
and I'm not
ads.
doing this as a segue to Clinton, but Clinton.
Thank you for that, John. No, I certainly know a few pigs. Look, I think, Lynn, in a perfect world, we would all want this to happen. We all care about the environment and we know the damage they're doing, but I'm the same. I try my best, but I do sometimes forget, and I am sometimes lazy. If you're just nipping out or whatever, and you grab 3 or 4 things and you can't carry them. But look, I'm a big fan. You can't take the option away entirely. It's not feasible and will never happen. But I'm a big fan of the 20 or 30 cents per plastic bag, maybe. I think that would stop people grabbing one.
Though that doesn't work because the shops who actually implement that actually lose patrons and customers and stuff. But anyway, we asked you at home what you think, and we asked you at home what you think. Would you support a total ban on plastic shopping bags as a means of protecting the environment? 79% of you said yes, and 21% of you said no. So 79%, almost 80% agree. Alex, how about yourself? Do you agree that with the people at home?
100%. I always have the cloth bags in my car in the boot. What you do is you always have it in here. You never forget it, because if you forget it, you go back to your car and get it. Now, I went shopping at Aldi's for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to take my bags in, and they've got a completely different system. Like when you go through, you've got to put all your food, then put it back in the trolley, and then you go over to the corner and pack it in. And I said, oh, you don't have any bags? She goes, because, oh, we sell them for 15 cents, and they're really big plastic bags, but they're the really thick one, but they also have the cloth one. Now, I think that every shop or store that has to supply plastic bags, they should charge people and have cloth ones or the ones that break down. What do they call that? Biodegradable ones, because it's just too easy just to keep collecting these plastic bags one after. There's so many, it's ridiculous. So yeah, I think shops should charge. Yep.
How about yourself, Steve? What do you reckon? Do away with the plastic bag?
Yep.
I think so. And I was up at the markets on Sunday at Kalamunda, and it was really good to see. I had my daughters with me, and there was a setup exactly about plastic bags to educate people. And I sort of looked, and I noticed everyone at the markets up there were carrying like hemp bags, alternative bags.
Up in the hills.
But with the plastics, it is a government thing, but it's definitely an education. But if you go and get in your car, you've got your car keys. If you go into the shops, take your bag. It's pretty simple. I mean, I'm guilty of it, and even some of the retailers will put your stuff in two plastic bags. Bring back boxes like they do in a lot of the small retail shops.
Bags and paper bag, double bagging.
Boxes are a nice idea.
Yeah.
I like that. That works for me.
Up in Toll.
Or Bunnings?
Yeah.
Bunnings has
The
boxes?
people would forget that if they forget their plastic or their bags, and if they're going to have to pay for a bag every time, like a proper bag,
guarantee they'll start remembering.
Guarantee
Absolutely.
they'll remember to bring their bags, because even they're only $1, aren't they?
And
$1.
the boxes, you break them down and put them in your recycle bin. They go back, they get recycled. The plastic, I've got a cupboard at home with a hemp bag full of plastic bags that's about a year old that I keep going to take back to the shopping centre, and it never happens. It just keeps getting full.
I don't think they want your filthy used plastic bags somehow. I don't think that
Well, they do
they'll
recycle
accept that.
plastic bags. Down at Coles, they've got a box there that says for your
Oh, do they
recycle
really?
your plastic
There you
bags.
go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
So and you put them in there.
Really hands it out to everyone shopping there.
Yeah, no,
I don't know what
down.
they do.
Not
They
only the
might
price is
recycle
going down, so is the quality
They
of their
might
bags.
recycle them.
Yeah.
They probably recycle them anyway.
Yes. So,
They've gone through other hands, and sat on other people's
They probably get
benches.
recycled, as in
yes.
made into something else, not made back into bags.
right. So
Go
what do you
through a
think?
machine.
Winning letter, Clinton? Who are you going for?
I'm going to give it to Lynn from Willerton. She
Yeah.
sounds like a
Lynn?
nice, greeny
Yes.
person.
Greeny, yes. Lynn, what about yourself?
I'm guilt tripped out enough to say
Guilt
yes.
trip, the lazy shopper, the
Yeah.
self-confessed
I own it, though, I own
lazy
it.
shopper.
I own my laziness.
The
Lynn
self-confessed
is
lazy
the
shopper.
winner.
Yes. What about yourself, Alex?
Lynn, I'm with you, Lynn.
Lynn, Steve?
I think we should have sweet and sour shopping bags, and yep, I'm going with her.
You're going with Lynn. Everybody loves Lynn.
Yeah, we love
Everybody loves
Lynn.
Lynn.
Good on you,
Jeez,
Lynn.
Lynn.
Willerton.
You know, she's
She's
all
getting the
concerned
glasses.
about a lunch break, saying more and more plastic bags. So, Lynn, you're actually going to get a set of sunglasses from our very generous sponsors, Aussie Opticals.
Maybe take them out of the plastic bag they come in.
That's right. Exactly. I believe Aussie Opticals is environmentally friendly and come in cardboard.
Biodegradable.
Exactly. Yes. Just take out the 3 plastic bags that we send in postage, and you'll. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Well, look, I got to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, Clinton, for coming along.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Foni. You've been a buzz.
Oh,
Absolute buzz.
thanks, my darling.
Alex, of course.
Yes.
Absolutely love you on the
Thank
panel.
you.
Always got plenty to
Love
say.
being
Love
here.
that. And of course, Steve. Best of luck. Any shows coming up?
Tell us a joke,
I've
Steve.
got one this week. I can't. They're too rude.
Tell us a joke,
Tell us a
Steve.
joke.
Australia wants a joke. We're on our way out. It's late at night.
There is one Wayne over Metho, and it's a little bit about
30
Armadale
seconds.
catching the train. It's pretty scary out
Well,
there. on that
you're not going to
Armadale
hear
train.
it. We're going to go. I'm sorry. We love you so much.
Come to
That
the
joke
show.
maybe come up next time. Just keep watching. we need the R-rated edition late at night. Yes. Although we are indeed. Yes.
One
Yes.
I do, John.
PG.
is,
Buzz
I should
boy.
take that.
It's
Yeah.
so beige.
Thank you very much.
Why does everyone?
S&M, yeah,
bury their
SPG.
bed?
No.
Burn them.
No, hang on. Hey, Jen.
I want to do.
Oh,
accident.
sorry, what's
I
your
want to
food? That's right.